According to a 2017 Bloomberg report, the worldwide K-pop industry is worth almost $5 billion. But this fame comes at a cost. It might be all shiny and happy on the surface, but K-pop has a disturbing dark side: the slave contracts. Managers profiting from the talent and hard work of their artists is by no means a strictly Korean phenomenon, but it's here that the exploitation of aspiring stars appears to be at its most blatant. Former JJCC member Prince Mac claims
slave contracts are a long time. Normally, K-pop contracts are usually from 7 years to 15 years.
Prince Mac noted this means that a star who debuts at age 25 with a 15-year contract will still be in a K-pop group when they're 40. Even worse, according to Prince Mac, is that the contracts don't start right away.
Your years in your contract actually starts from when you debut. So you could be training for 10 years, but that doesn't count.
Boot camp hell. When Spin Magazine's David Bevan visited the headquarters of YG Entertainment in 2012, the music journalist was impressed with the postmodern complex, boutique cafeteria, plush recording studios, and an on-site gym manned by a famous Korean fitness guru. However, this was all in stark contrast to the building in which the company's 30 or so boot campers were actually living at the time. According to Bevan, you would never guess that this is where they live, a squat, red brick apartment building whose only distinguishing mark is the grimy noodle shop tucked into its ground floor. Ferlin Wong, former member of female idol quintet Scarf, claimed in an interview with the new paper that her manager would subject her to verbal abuse during boot camp, telling her that she was too opinionated and would never succeed in anything she does. Wong added, "My manager told my mom off, saying she should have taught her daughter better and that her daughter is not living the way a proper human being should." Money woes. You could argue that all of this sacrifice is worth it when the reward is fame and fortune, but in truth, K-pop stars rarely get the latter. According to former JJCC member Prince Mac,
the company usually gets 90% and the artist gets 10%. If you're lucky, then the company gets 80% and the artist gets 20%.
And that's per group, Mac said. So if you're in a 5-member act, you'll personally only see 2% of the cash. From that 2%, the idol also has to repay the money the agency spent training them at boot camp, and the debt just keeps growing. Worked to exhaustion. After graduating boot camp, the hours don't get any less grueling. Being a K-pop idol is a full-time job and then some, with groups reportedly expected to be on the clock all day, every day.
You could be working 20 hours or even a whole day. I've worked 20 hours shifts. I was shooting a reality or variety TV show, and they went on for 20 hours.
With shifts that long, when do the stars sleep? Not very often, for one.
Every day we average about 3 hours to 4 hours sleep, and apart from that, it's just all training or work.
Plastic surgery pressures. Surgery is reportedly rife in K-pop. It's not uncommon for idols to discuss their enhancements during interviews, but what doesn't happen very often is an idol admitting that they were pushed into it. But Shindong from boy group Super Junior did just that, saying in an interview, "One day the president of our agency suggested I should have double eyelid surgery because I have an unpleasant look in my eyes, so I decided to follow his suggestion." Solo artist Hwang Cheol also admitted to getting work done at the request of his management, telling an interviewer, "I didn't really have thoughts of plastic surgery, but before debut, my management company said that we should do it, so I agreed." Strict diets. South Korean society puts a lot of emphasis on physical beauty. The former JJCC member claims that he knew of a female idol group whose members would be disciplined by their agency for not sticking to their prescribed weight. Max said,
"Yeah, I don't know, could be dance, could be running, could be no eating, so they'll get punished if they go over their weight, and they're usually checked like once a week."
K-pop idols' extreme diets may also lead to eating disorders. Artist Jin E of girl group Oh My Girl and solo singer IU have both opened up about suffering from anorexia and bulimia, respectively, though neither girl has directly attributed their disorder to their jobs. The suicide problem. Kim Jong-un, the frontman of popular K-pop act SHINee, took his own life in December 2017. In an apparent suicide note shared by a friend, the artist spoke about the intense pressures of life as a music idol. If you ask why people die, they would probably say it's because they're exhausted. The note said, "I suffered and agonized about it, but I never learned how to turn this pain into happiness." The young star's note went on to say he felt he was not meant to lead a life in the public eye. In 2007, solo artist Yoonhee hanged herself in her home just before the release of her third album. In 2010, singer Choi Jin-young took his own life just 18 months after the suicide of his actress sister Choi Jin-sil. And in 2015, An So-jin was found unresponsive after being dropped by her agency. Dangerous fans. Members of Big Bang and Super Junior have been involved in multi-car pileups as a result of being chased by fans. Kim Hee-chul from Super Junior even closed his Twitter account as a result. If you're not safe on the roads, you're at least safe when you're performing, right? Wrong. Girls' Generation Taeyeon found this out the hard way when a strange man got on stage during a live performance and tried to abduct her in front of everyone. Discrimination? This means that foreigners entering the industry need to brush up on their language skills fast, especially when it comes to Korean. Chinese-Australian artist Prince Mac said,
Korea is actually very foreign friendly, but in the industry, it's not very foreign friendly.
Mac isn't the only mixed heritage idol to experience difficulties. Some artists claim they've been racially discriminated against. British Korean singer Shannon was trolled after she performed the Korean national anthem at a baseball game. She said on the South Korean variety show My Neighbor Charles, "My mother is Korean and it shouldn't matter because I have Korean blood in me, but they kept calling me a foreigner. They wrote negative comments about me." Chinese native Faye of girl group Miss A had a similar experience with haters. She explained on the show, "When I first came to Korea, someone asked me if I only take a shower once a week. I was taken aback. I said, I shower every day. Why? Do you think Chinese people don't take showers?" The person seriously thought that. I was surprised.
零视频 APP 等你下载。